who's been here at least as long as I have, and you're the first name to come up. And we looked over and saw Jeff Robertson, Jim Holder. Will, we weren't sure because you've been in and out if you counted in that category. But I think mine is maybe the only hairdo that's changed since we've been here. Everybody else got the same hairdo. But it's a privilege to be with you here today. And thanks to Adam. And, I think everybody's got a media guide. And, terrific job by him and his staff putting that together. And we will talk, about the release this morning. Hopefully it came a little bit as a surprise to some of you, because that's what the goal was. And as I read Adam's release this morning at 9 o'clock and started hearing beeping outside and a big crane in front of the stadium and got all excited, and I said, boy, Ross Bjork does not mess around. 9:30 and there's already a crane outside. And then of course Jake Scott, my director of operations, said, Coach, he's just cleaning the windows. Anyway, we'll talk about those in just a few minutes. But I think all coaches and all teams, 300 plus Division I teams in the country, it's an exciting time to always start the season, starting on Friday. And, before I get into that and talk a little bit about our team, a couple guys I want to introduce. First, make note that Stephen Head, one of our former coaches, great player here, left about 2 months ago to take on a scouting job with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so we moved one of our director of operations, Mark McMillan, into Stephen's role as a coach on the field, along with Mike Clement that returns from last year in his second year, and Carl Lafferty as our recruiting coordinator and pitching coach. I will talk a little bit about the team, and as Adam said, talk about the news this morning. One of the things that I've been saying, I think probably for the last 3 or 4 months when asked about this year's team, is it seems like last year's weaknesses may be this year's strengths. And what I mean by that is, last year, as much as probably even a year ago sitting in front of this microphone, I wanted to believe that, we returned, a good group of kids from the 2014 team that went to the College World Series. The truth of the matter is, we returned 3 freshmen that really were outstanding as freshmen, but, were in totally a different role. And but now when I look at those guys, they're not freshmen or just starting their sophomore years now. Now they're juniors. And when I look at the position players, Adam put in, I think, the media guide that we returned 7 of the starting 9. But the truth of the matter is, on opening day, the 10 guys more than likely that'll be in the lineup, including the pitcher, would have all started last year. And so we're as old and experienced as we probably have ever been, as a position player group. And then, last year, one of the weaknesses was our pitching depth. And after, a few injuries, I think that was quite evident, that we just showed our lack of depth on the mound. And we fixed that with the signing of 11 pitchers in this current recruiting class that's on campus right now. And I believe that's the most that we've ever signed in one recruiting class. So, we're excited about that. We'll start with the position players, kind of going around the horn, starting at third base. We returned Colby Bortles at third. Colby, started just about every single game last year at third base. After a freshman year where he really came on the scenes as a star in postseason, but last year took over the third base position and played as well as defensively as I can remember anybody playing defense here at third base.